I never realized what the world was until the day when my son was born. Trey, who kisses you more, mommy or daddy? I love my son. I never realized how much my father loved me until I had a son. And all you guys out there know the deal. But it's a sickness with me. I just want to be with him. I want to love him. I want to teach him. And more than anything, Trey, what you've done is if you taught me. Trey's a great student. He's a great boy. He just makes friends. So moving to New Jersey is going to be really an easy proposition. I have two people that just coexist with people, and they're just great people. And I know everyone thinks that about them, but on a day like today, you guys are my life. And when I told Trey, this was a big part of the decision, that we were coming to New Jersey, he got very... What'd you do, Trey?
I jumped up and I was so excited.
And when your son jumps up and he's excited, life is good. And got something for you too, Trey. What do you say?
Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dad.
So what's up for the player? Yeah. My barometer for bringing in student athletes here is simple, and it always has been as a head coach. Would I entrust the people that I'm recruiting with my wife and my son to babysit, to watch over? So the student athletes that, Joe and Deb and Bill and everyone, the people, Vidal, the people that I'm going to bring on this campus are going to be quality people that know how to respect themselves, know how to respect each other, work ridiculously hard, and we'll get what we deserve. The last people, well, not the next to last people, are some of my friends. I've had friends in this world, and I can't... Petey, stand up, my man. Pete Dorito. Let's give him a hand, guys. Pete Dorito is an alum of... I didn't know this. I didn't even know Pete went to college. Peter Dorito went to... But now you got your degree from the Madison. But that's all together, is that not? So, Pete, we're going to bring the Madison people together with the Metropolitan people. Petey couldn't bring down Tommy Parker. Now, Tommy, I know, didn't go to college because he didn't finish high school. But I got friends that are big and high, far-reaching, but I got solid friends that that are dear to my life. Jay Carlins, who's a high school basketball coach from Connecticut. Let's give Jay a hand. And just so many more. And Joe Forenza's dad played at North Bergen High School. Joe is a legend. Joe. But the people I really need to thank are the people of Fairleigh Dickinson University that have let me into their family, and I'm be forever thankful. Joe, Kieran, we met the first time I interviewed. This is my second time I interviewed for the position. And I was always very impressed with Joe, his class, his dignity, and his love and passion for this university. It comes through, whether it's bowling or whether it's academics or whether it's a fiscal. The one thing that I'm very good at, and I'm not good at a lot, is defining people that have a great level of character and ability. And it's very apparent if you meet Joe for a minute, you know that he's got tremendous character, a tremendous ability. And Joe, I can't thank you for everything that you've done for me and my family. Before I get to the big guy, I met Sean Morrison here, and he's in the background a lot when I was at Seton Hall, and now he's in the background here at Fairleigh Dickinson University. This guy has been a dear friend and a good human being and a hard, relentless worker, and someone that I look forward to working with. And raising money is going to be a big deal, and Sean does that as well as anybody. And I just have to acknowledge Sean Morrison. The entire committee was just tremendous. I had a great day in there. It got a little bit hot. It would have been hotter, Deb, if you were there probably, but Deb was sick that day. But it just showed to me that there were a number of people in the room that care, and I told the players as well. What I have a hard time with is people that don't care enough. And if I'm guilty of one thing, it's caring too much about each possession, caring about each individual, each class. I take things personally, and I care. And I want everyone on our team to care as much as the people in the committee that cared about who is going to be your new head basketball coach. So for instead of going around and talking, I know Sue's not here. There are a lot of people that are not here. But Vidal, Deb, Bill, Pete wasn't on the committee, but Pete is going to be a trusted friend and a great colleague. I thank everybody on the committee that was able to select me. Last but not least, David Langford. When I first met David Langford, I really liked David Langford. He's a good man, he's a great administrator, and he's given me a job. A Division I job. And I like his style. He didn't come at, it might have took a little bit longer, but, usually, my father used to say, water seeks its own level. And you got your man. And I know it's a hard job, but guess what? I took the Elgin Community College job for $5,600. Then I went to Cabrini College and made $40,000. And then I went to UMass Lowell and I made $80,000. And then I came here, and I'm not going to tell you how much I made. But and in 7 years, it's a dream. It's a dream. I was in the basement of I love my in-laws.
You're making it sound worse.
No.
Their basement was pretty nice.
They're big. Honey, be quiet. So, David, for sticking with me, and I love it because the first job, if all you young coaches out there or players, the first Division I job I interviewed was with George Blaney at Holy Cross College. And he brought me into the office. Not I'll call you, I'll text you. He brought me into the office after my tour and he goes, Greg, I'm not hiring you. And I said, oh, God, Coach, this is Holy Cross. He says, I can't hire you. I'm going to hire one of my former players, but be ready. I'll hire you someday. And, when you're a kid, it's like, it ain't happening. It's garbage. And the next year, George Blaney called me up, offered me my first Division I assistant coaching position. And the same thing happened here. David called me. I'll never forget. I was in the Boston Garden. The phone rang. I don't know how many years ago. And it was David, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting it. And I was like, it was a high school tournament, and Greg, we're going in another. No. We've got to go in another. David, you should have hired me the first time. But right before I signed, he said, Greg, you're my man. And the first time I met him here, the second time I met him here, I said, David, you're my man. So I look forward to working with David, and I can't thank David Langford enough for the opportunity. Thank you, David. Pride, and I know I'm a little bit long, so I'm going to try. Al LaBalbo. I went to a game. My cousin played at Bridgeport University, and they played Fairleigh Dickinson University, and I went to the game, and as I came into the game, my coach told me about this guy, Al LaBalbo. And it kind of has a cool name, like Alabama. I don't know what it was. I thought it was like a pasta. Until I watched them play. And ball you men. So you guys get ready when Deb says I can do the first individual workout, we're ball you man. And that's what we got to get back to, is playing defense. He was one of the great defensive coaches in the United States of America. He's still reveled by Bobby Knight and by U.B. Brown and by anyone that knows basketball knows Alabama. And it started here at Fairleigh Dickinson. I believe they played their games at Felician, back in the day, at Felician College. So I've done some history. And now we're in the Rothman Center, where I saw LeBron James play, and I saw Tracy McGrady play, and I saw all the great ones play. And guess what? I'm going to skip ahead. Pride to hope. This is my hope, and this is my dream, and this will happen. That everyone in this room, at some point in time, sooner than later, will be preparing to go to the NCAA tournament. Soon. That's my hope, and that's my dream, and that's my plan. And players, if you don't clap for that, I'm not renewing your scholarship. Seth Greenberg is a good friend of mine, and Seth I reached out to, who is an alum, and wished me a lot of luck last night. And we beat Seth when he was at South Florida. We beat Seth when he was at Virginia Tech, and he beat us at those two places. But I've been at high levels, and we know how to win games, and we're going to do that. But there's history here. There's pride here. There's a like Tom Green, who is when I was a young assistant coach, he befriended me, and you guys know Tom better than I. Quiet, reserved, good man. Elijah Allen was a baller here. We need players. We need to get players. I want to get them from New Jersey, and then I'll go anywhere in the world. I've recruited in Senegal. I've recruited in Lithuania, Argentina. I've been all over the world. My wife was a flight attendant for 11 years. We used to hop on flights and chase guys down. True? Dick Holub, who was a coach here and played for the New York Knicks. And, you could go on, but we have to start a new tradition, guys. We have to. The reason I'm here is there is a void, and the void is pride. And the only way you develop any sense of pride, only way, is by winning in Division I collegiate athletics. And how you win is this. It's a 4-letter word, bro. Work. And if I can teach you guys, like I have at every other place that I've been at, to love the work, we're going to win. You're going to be proud to be Fairleigh Dickinson University Knights, and we're going to go to the NCAA tournament. I was at Lowell. We were picked 12th out of 15 teams when I got the job there. So that's not a really good, And we went to the tournament 4 straight years, my first 4 straight years. I played in 2 championship games in my first 4 years and won a championship in a really tough league with 16 teams. Now I believe there's 10 teams in our conference. So my goals are not going to be, okay, guys, let's get to the conference tournament first, which we have to. But that's not where I'm going. I'm going big, and we're going hard, and we're going at it, and we're going to leave it on the floor. In practice is open. So, Pete, I don't know how you feel about this, but when we have practice, I invite alums, I invite media people, I want to show you guys off and say, yeah, man, this is my team. Watch how hard they play. And then the word will disseminate. And now at UMass Lowell, we lost to Providence by a point, and then we tried to schedule them this year. They did not want to play us. We press, we run, we share it. We have one rule. If you steal it, you share it. If you steal it, you pass it. So if you steal the ball, what do you think everybody else is going to do? They're going to run the floor. And they know, listen, if this guy steals it, he's going to give it to me, and vice versa. So now you have a common bond where people are going to give the ball up.